I want to talk about the different components to like getting in shape, right? Because we were talking before we started recording, everybody wants to be told what to do. And you can tell people what to do, but then there's another part of that, right? People need to find the discipline, and that's huge. And I know that you talk about discipline a lot, and that's often the biggest hurdle, right? Because we all kind of know what to do on some level, but it's the actual doing it that's the hardest part. So let's kind of break it down to like mindset and then what we actually need to be doing.
As a trainer and a gym owner, I've been doing this a long time, and you run into so many different people at so many different stages of their life. There are people who go to the gym but kind of half-ass it. There are people who've never been to the gym who don't even know where to start. There are people who go to the gym and want to dial it up, you know, who are in great shape and I have a mixed bag of nuts in both gyms and throughout my career. And you just have to meet people where they're at and try to figure out what they need right now. And everybody wants everything right now. I mean, that's society, that's America, that's how things go. But you have to break it down. So for instance, somebody who's never worked out before, I had a guy come in with a full head of steam in January, and he's like, I want to come 5 days a week, loaded. He just got, sold his company. He's like, I got nothing but time. Give me a diet, give me a workout. I go, how old are you? He's like, I'm 44 years old. Have you ever worked out? Judge by looking at him, he looked like a bag of milk. And I was like, you've never worked out a day in your life. Let's take things one step at a time. I think the gateway drug for most people is finding a gym routine that they enjoy and not doing it right away. Everybody wants to do, all right, I want to come Monday to Friday as much as I can. Start with 2 days. And I want you to kind of long for it. I want you to miss it a little bit so that you come back. So I always start people with 1, maybe 2 days.
That's interesting. I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
And that makes so much sense.
For sure.
Like always leave wanting more, right?
Of course.
Versus the other way around.
Yeah.
Smart.
And everybody, because burnout happens, right? Everybody's like, well, I'm going to get on this diet that I can't subscribe to because I don't really believe in it yet. And I want to go to the gym, but I've never done this in 44 years of my life. And now I'm just going to do it out of nowhere. So I say, start with 2 days, and then let's lock in that habit for the next 3 to 6 weeks. If you could guarantee that you're going to show up, if you're going to give me 2 hours a week for the next 6 weeks, then we can move on and I could give you something else, whether we give you another day of the week or we start to dial in what we should be eating. But most people can't bite off that much. Most people can't. You don't have any discipline and now you want all the discipline. So it doesn't work like that. So, and then there's other people where I have, younger guys who are in their 30s and stuff who are like, dude, I just want to get shredded this summer. It's like, all right, let me see what you're eating. And when I start to dive into what they're eating, they're relatively good. And then the weekend comes and they're like, well, it's just one day. And I'm like, yeah, but you're having 4,000 calories in the day. You're day drinking all day with your friends and then you're eating like shit at night. So let's just dial that back. Let's make it one shitty meal if that's what you need to do. And then everything else we need to tighten up. It's taking it piece by piece and meeting people where they're at. And I think it's the way the brain works is that you can't really fathom doing all this. Like you want it all at once, but you really can't process that much. So you need to take it one step at a time. And I try to get people to, little goals, because then if you now, it works on, that the endorphins that you get from accomplishing a goal. Oh, I went twice this week. That's amazing. Great. I could definitely do it because I've done it now. Now I could do it again next week. And now after I know that I could do that for 2 or 3 weeks and I start racking up these wins. And that's what I tell people, rack up as many wins as you can. Have one good meal, get to the gym an extra day. And then when you start to rack up these wins, now you start to build that discipline in. And now you start to realize how good it feels to feel better. One of the guests I had on my podcast recently, she was just saying, she's like, I wish I could get everyone to feel how good it feels to be strong. And I talk about that all the time. I try to get people to understand that it will infinitely improve your life when you start to do it, but you can't do it all at once. If you came into the gym and you're like, I want to deadlift 300 pounds. Well, I wouldn't put 300 pounds on the bar and have you do it. I would slowly, gradually work you up to a point where within 3 to 6 months, we could get you to that point.
It's interesting. sounds like you need to practice a lot of restraint, which I feel like people don't necessarily think
No.
of when they think of
No,
like,
most people don't have
getting shredded or getting in
Yeah.
shape or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And it gives me a little bit of anxiety because I'm one of those like 0 to 100 people where I do this all the time. Like I fall off and then I'm like, okay, I'm going to like get back, and I'm training with my trainer 3 times a week. Then I'm doing Pilates twice a week, and then I'm doing this once a week, and then I'm doing that. And I have to go 0 to 100, and either I burn out because it's too much, or I don't do it perfectly, and then I get what I call the fuck it's, and I'm like, well, fuck it. I'm like, scrap that plan, you know?
But you're not alone. I think it's taken me, like I said, I started doing this when I was 13, 14 years old, and I've gone through seasons of feeling different ways. Like there are times where I hated working out. I'm like, I don't want to go to the gym so bad. And I've just now, over the course of the last 25, 30 years that I've been doing this, have now came up with different ways that I convince myself to work out. Whether it's I have a training partner, or I have a place that I go, or I try a different gym, or, you know, I've tricked myself into doing it every day. You know, and there are definitely mornings I get to the gym and I'm like, I don't want to do this, but I know like little ways that'll kind of get my heart rate up and I'll feel better. And I just start doing something. And I think that's the biggest problem, is that people don't know how to trigger that part of their body. The hardest thing to do is actually get to the gym. Now, when you're there, especially, I encourage people to take classes where their friends are there, or they can meet people, or there's some sort of, one of the things I say about our gym is that we build muscle and we build community, because you'll never work out alone. You'll either work out with 1 or 2 other people, or you'll work out with me and one of my trainers, because I want people to have some sort of accountability and multiple people checking in with you, being like, hey, you're going, right? Okay, cool. I'm going to go too.